Have you ever said yes to something and instantly regretted it? Ugh, that sinking feeling in your stomach. That's exactly what we're talking about today. The art of saying no. It's a skill, right? And it can feel almost impossible to get right. But trust me, mastering it can literally change your life. So let's dive in.
So let me ask you this. Just think about the last week. How many times did you say yes when you were really wanting to say no? For so many of us, it's a reflex. It's an automatic response we don't even think twice about. And all the while, there's that little voice inside your head, right? And it's not being so little, it's screaming, "No, stop, I'm too tired for this, I do not have the time." This huge gap between what we do and what we actually feel, that's what we're going to unpack today.
Welcome to what I call the yes trap. And believe me, it comes with a seriously heavy price tag. When you constantly ignore that inner no, you're basically on a fast track to a breaking point. So what does that actually look like?
Well, it usually starts with frustration. That frustration then kind of simmers and turns into real anger. Then, of course, comes the fatigue, that bone-deep exhaustion from carrying all these things that aren't even yours to carry. And finally, you just hit a wall. You're completely and totally overwhelmed. The thing to get here is that this doesn't happen overnight. Nope. It's a slow burn. It's the result of every single yes that should have been a no.
So, the big question is, why? Why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we consistently put what we need dead last? Well, it turns out there are three, let's call them core reasons, for this pattern of self-betrayal. Okay, first up, and this one is huge, the fear of rejection. We are wired for connection, right? So the idea of upsetting someone, or even worse, being disliked, it can be absolutely terrifying. Then you've got the habit of self-sacrifice. A lot of us were taught that putting others first is the best thing you can be, but nobody ever taught us that our own needs matter too. And finally, it can be a simple lack of self-awareness. I mean, if you don't even know what your priorities are, how in the world are you supposed to protect them? It's like trying to guard a treasure, but you have no idea where you buried it.
All right, so that's the why. We get it. But now for the good part, the how. Let's look at some actual practical steps you can start taking to reclaim your time, your energy, and reclaim your life. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with this: self-awareness. You have got to know what fills you up and what just drains you completely dry. So here's a little challenge for you. Sometime today, find just 10 minutes, get away from all the distractions, and make two lists: what energizes me and what drains me. You simply can't protect your boundaries if you don't even know where they are. And here's where it all comes together. Look at this. The habit, your go-to move, is to say yes to a friend even when you are running on fumes. But now, look at the boundary. "I appreciate your request, but I'm busy right now. We can talk later." It's clear, it's respectful, and it's honest. The real magic is in the phrasing. It's not a hard no, it's an "I can't right now." That tiny little shift, that is a massive gain in personal power.
Okay, I want you to just take a second and let this one sink in. Really let it land. Because this is probably the biggest roadblock for most of us: the guilt. We have this deep-seated feeling that saying no makes us selfish or mean. But it doesn't. It's an act of self-preservation. It's about respecting yourself just as much as you respect everyone else.
And that brings us to a really crucial shift in how we think about all this. We tend to see boundaries as these big walls we put up to keep people out. But what if we started seeing them as tools? Tools that we use to manage our own precious energy. See, it's not about rejection, it's about preservation.
I just love this. It really reframes the whole idea. It's not about building a fortress to keep the world away. It's about using a tool that actually allows you to give the best of yourself to others and to you without running on empty. It protects your inner peace, so you actually have more to give when you really want to.
And this part is so important. Don't expect to wake up tomorrow as a boundary-setting master. It just doesn't work that way. It's a skill. Think about it like going to the gym. The more you practice setting small boundaries, the stronger that no muscle gets. And then, the easier it becomes to handle the really big requests.
So let's pull all these threads together and map out a new way forward. And it doesn't start with some giant, scary leap. It starts with one single, totally manageable step that you can take today.
And just one last reminder before we talk about that first step: you have to let go of the guilt. Saying no is not selfish. It is a sign of incredible strength. It's a sign of maturity. It's proof that you value yourself enough to be honest about what you can and can't do.
So here's your game plan for today. It's so simple. Find one small thing, a really low-stakes situation where you would normally just say yes. And today, you're going to politely say no. That's it.
No long, drawn-out explanations, no feeling sorry. Just state your boundary clearly and kindly, and then just notice how it feels. It's your first rep in the boundary gym. You got this.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. It might feel like a tiny little act, but that one no is the first domino. When you practice it over time, it can lead to a more balanced, more authentic, and honestly, a much happier life. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What is the one no that you can say today that will start to change everything?